Shyness. A heavy word, isn't it? It carries a weight, a stigma, a sense of shame. We don't often talk about it, yet it's a feeling that haunts millions. I know because I've been there. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I want to share something deeply personal and important. As I go through this journey of loneliness, I discovered that my shyness is linked to my loneliness. On this channel, I talk about my journey through loneliness and my experiences. I am sure we can all relate that loneliness is something that many of us experience at different points in our lives, and it can stem from various sources. Today, I will be talking specifically about how being shy didn't help with my loneliness. In the next videos, I will be specifically talking about how there were many reasons for my loneliness, including a combination of depression and anxiety. I was in a lonely marriage, going through motherhood, and weird family relations. Shyness directly contributed to my loneliness, which then affected me in all the areas of my life. So today the focus of this video will be shyness. What is shyness? What causes shyness? And how I overcame shyness. I hope we are curious and are ready to be part of the journey. So what is shyness? According to the Encyclopedia of Psychology, shyness is the tendency to feel awkward, worried, or tense during social encounters, especially with unfamiliar people. Severely shy people may have physical symptoms like blushing, sweating, a pounding heart or upset stomach, negative feelings about themselves, worries about how others view them, and a tendency to withdraw from social interactions. This describes who I was as a person. I have been working really hard to get out of loneliness, and I am still working on the shyness bit. Shyness isn't a one-size-fits-all experience. It wears many masks, takes on different shapes depending on its root cause and its impact on our lives. So what does shyness really look like for me? Let's suppose I have a networking work event to attend, which I normally do. Days before the event, I start having feelings of anxiety, self-consciousness, and fear. During the event, I scan the room. When I see a group of professionals I need to introduce myself to, I start feeling nervous. My mind races with thoughts like, what if I say something stupid? Or, do I look okay? Or, what if I have spinach stuck on my tooth? When I finally muster the courage to join the conversation, I notice I fidget with my hands and stumble over my words. Sometimes I even forget how to walk properly. I'm usually hyper-aware of every little thing I'm doing, from my posture to my tone of voice. Instead of focusing on the conversation, I get consumed by self-doubt, wondering if the other people are judging me, and if they do, what exactly are they thinking? This heightened awareness of myself and my actions often makes the interaction feel awkward and strained, reinforcing my self-consciousness. As a result, social interactions often lead to discomfort for me and hinder my ability to engage naturally with others. These social events cause me to blush, I sweat sometimes heavily, I tremble, I have a racing heart and a dry mouth. I kid you not, chances are you can hear my heart beating if you are standing right next to me. Some events are not as bad, but some are. The point is, I feel this discomfort and unease in any new and old social situations. I am still shy when I see my neighbor who I have lived next to for the last 15 years. Chances are if you see me, you can tell that I am shy. It's that obvious. I have been told that I avoid eye contact. In fact, I am actually uncomfortable with prolonged eye contact. I speak softly and I struggle with starting or maintaining conversations, and so I prefer to stay in the background in group settings. Sometimes I just avoid social interactions altogether. The bottom line for me is, I don't know what to say. I fear being rejected or judged. Over time, the avoidance built up and I barely had opportunities to connect with others, creating even more isolation. At the end of the day, I got into this loop of wanting friends, yet I am uncomfortable in most social situations. As a shy person, I found it challenging to express my emotions and needs openly. This often led to misunderstandings and a lack of emotional intimacy in my relationships. Without expressing my need for support or companionship, I did not receive the emotional connections I desired, contributing more to my loneliness. My husband worked a lot, and I found it hard to share my feelings of sadness or stress with him, or with friends or family, leading to a lack of support and a feeling of being alone in my struggles with the kids or my marriage. My shyness resulted in fewer social interactions. I avoided situations where I needed to interact with new people or engage in group activities. This limited social interaction reduced the chances of forming meaningful relationships, increasing the risk of loneliness. At work, I usually sit alone during lunch or eat at my desk instead of joining a group of other workmates, missing out on potential friendships and feeling more isolated. Sometimes they come back from lunch laughing, and I would think they were talking about me. My shyness also came with a negative self-perception, where I viewed myself as uninteresting or unworthy of attention. This self-doubt then prevented me from reaching out to others, believing that my company won't be valued or appreciated. As you can see, this mindset reinforced my feelings of loneliness as I isolated myself further. The relationship between shyness and loneliness can be cyclical. The shyness exacerbated feelings of loneliness, making it even harder for me to break out of my isolation. As I became more isolated, my social skills became reduced, leading to increased shyness and deeper loneliness. I had a cycle going on: isolation, reach out, shy, avoid, isolation, reach out, shy, avoid, isolation, reach out, shy. It was just never ending. Do you ever notice how you behave when you are shy? I am curious. As a shy and lonely person, I developed depression and anxiety, which made me even less likely to seek out social connections, perpetuating my loneliness. Both shyness and loneliness had a significant impact on my mental health. These mental health challenges further hindered social interactions and deepened my sense of isolation. Up till this day, I can't tell what's the chicken or what's the egg. I have been shy for as long as I can remember. I have read that there is evidence to suggest that shyness can be inherited. Some people are naturally more predisposed to shyness due to their genetic makeup. I don't know if that's the case for me, so it could be my genes, I don't know. When I was a little girl, we were not allowed to go to neighbors' houses. You know, stranger danger. My parents were very overprotective, and we only hung around either people they knew or our relatives. I was always corrected a lot. We don't say that, calm down, sit down. So now I overthink things. I'm always wondering if I am laughing too loudly or behaving properly. I felt judged growing up, and now I think I judge myself in the same way. To be honest, I also don't remember being exposed to a lot of different social experiences, so it could be a lot of ingredients to my shyness. Growing up, I remember changing schools, which made it really hard for me to make new friends, since I already did not know how to interact appropriately. This unfamiliar environment and new social dynamics made me feel anxious and withdrawn. The trend continued on as I grew. I developed anxiety, which caused extreme shyness. The anxiety comes with an intense fear of social situations and being judged or embarrassed. To top it off, I had low self-esteem or self-confidence. I am going to briefly go into how I managed and overcame my shyness. I am going to post another video where I will go in depth on just how I managed my shyness. I got a really good counselor who started pointing out how my thought patterns were affecting me, and that counselor had me gradually exposing myself to social situations. This really helped reduce the anxiety over time. I started with less intimidating interactions and slowly worked up to more challenging ones to build confidence. I started by taking myself out for coffee. Since I was lonely, I also never went out. For my coffee dates with myself, I would take a book to read or a journal. This started making the idea of being surrounded by noise and people easier to bear. The same counselor also started teaching me about social skills training, such as making eye contact, active listening, and effective communication, which helped me to improve my social interactions. I started reading books about loneliness, and the knowledge also helped increase my awareness. I took CBT and DBT classes to help teach me techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, and mindfulness. These skills helped me manage my anxiety and increase my comfort level in social situations. I joined different support groups that provided a safe environment to practice social skills and gain support from others facing similar challenges. By joining support groups, I began to meet other people and practice my interpersonal skills. I started going to online 12-step groups where I didn't need to reveal my real name or face. I started building connections. My counselor encouraged me to build social interactions and to build meaningful relationships that helped alleviate my loneliness. Even though I couldn't dance, I joined a dance club. I joined a book club where I could contribute my thoughts and opinions, and finally I started participating in community activities. I slowly reached out to friends and family. I also started volunteering and trying to discover what I even liked. I tried volunteering at a soup kitchen, but I actually hated it, but now I found a volunteer place where I like the pace and the people. This is what I understood about my shyness. It was common and manageable with the right strategies and support, but I needed to be willing to do different things. I knew I had a problem, and it was affecting me. I was tired of being lonely. I was tired of worrying what people thought of me. I was tired of being tired. I am still overcoming the limitations of shyness and beginning to live a fulfilling social and professional life without the nagging thoughts in the background. There is hope. You don't have to remain shy and lonely. Get the help you need and remember to stay curious. Please subscribe.